Hey there! Remember when you first became a pharmacist? You probably didn't imagine missing your kid's first soccer game, eating dinner alone in your car, or feeling too exhausted to read bedtime stories. I'm Stephanie, a PharmD who got her family life back through remote pharmacist work, and I'm here to show you how you can too. Welcome to Your Remote Remedy, your weekly guide to breaking into remote pharmacist work. I traded my hectic hospital schedule for a remote career, and now I help other pharmacists do the same. Join me each episode for real talk, practical tips, and everything you need to know about making the switch to remote pharmacist work. Welcome to this week's episode. Picture this: it's your kid's school play at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. In your old life, you'd be stuck at work. But as a remote pharmacist, you are there watching it, taking a video, making memories. Let me share what one pharmacist recently told me. Remote work has made my life as a working mom manageable. I am able to focus on my health and prioritize time with my family, which is the most important aspect to me. This is exactly what's possible when you reimagine your pharmacy career. Today, you'll learn the exact steps I took to reclaim my family life through remote work, how to handle the fear of leaving traditional pharmacy behind, real stories from pharmacists who got their lives back as well, some mindset shifts that make this transformation possible, and how to start your own journey to getting your family life back. So, I had so many moments when I was working at the hospital and I just either was really stressed because my kids were sick and I needed to rush out, or they couldn't go to daycare and then I had to take a day off. What to do? I needed to be at work, but I needed to be there for my sick child, take them to the pediatrician. It's a snow day. Well, my neighbors were working. They're like, oh, we'll just work from home today. And I was like, well, that's great, but that's not an option for me or my husband. And that last minute kind of scrambling to find someone to watch your kids so you can go to work. Another time was just, oh, yes, we're doing a little school play today at 8 a.m. Well, my shift starts at 6:45 a.m. So it's just not possible to leave work and just go be there for that 10 minutes, that precious moment where you want to just be like taking all the videos and missing out on that. So also, commuting, rushing on the train to get to work and then to get back. And then I always kind of thought of it as like starting my second shift. And so the second shift of unpacking lunchboxes, mine included, and then starting dinner and then starting homework. And I just felt like there was just like this rush into the day and that there was no really like transition time. And I was really kind of just grumpy and stressed out the whole time, just trying to get through the evening. And I just didn't really have time to slow down or just enjoy the time with my kids. And, just kind of grumpy that I had to just throw something together on to get for dinner. But when I first went remote, it was actually during the pandemic. And so it literally happened overnight. I had a job where I was going in, doing that commute, that shuffle, rushing back and forth, trying to get there by pickup time so you weren't late and your kid wasn't there waiting for you. And all of a sudden it was like, don't come in tomorrow. And guess what? I was like, yes, I will not. And I just immediately felt my stress level go from a 10 down to like a 2. And so I was able to walk my kids to school. Once we went back to school and I was still working remotely, I was able to have breakfast with them. I was able to have a morning workout routine for the first time since I had kids. So this was probably first time in 10 years. So one of the most profound changes that I heard it came from a pharmacist's dad who told me something that really stuck with me. And he said, time has slowed down since I went from retail to remote pharmacist work. So think about it. In our rushed pharmacist lives, we're always racing against the clock. But when you remove that commute and the constant interruptions and the physical drain, time actually feels different. You get to be present instead of just surviving through the day. Now for me, I can do a late Friday afternoon ski break with my kids when they're up there with their school, Or I get to be there for that class skit at 8 a.m. And when they need a sick day, I say, no problem, I'm here. So I am now more present for my kids. My stress is lower, and I just feel like when my cup is filled, I'm showing up for myself and my family in a much more, I don't know, it's just happy, less stressful way. My friend and pharmacist mom, Liz's story is amazing. She transitioned from a clinical pharmacist to a managed care clinical pharmacist role, and she said the switch to remote work transformed her family life. She said the time she gets to spend with her kids has been the best part, and she's able to attend every therapy session for her son, and she's home for her kids when they are finished school. Or another pharmacist mom, Jer, she told me that when she went into a remote role, her family dynamics improved significantly. Her stress level of if or how or who subsided. Knowing that she could be there for her kids 24/7 without jumping through hoops was a game changer. She said she was actually able to be human, enjoy life on her terms. Okay, before I share some solutions that changed everything for me and these pharmacist moms, I want to give you a quick heads up. I've actually packaged everything I've learned about landing a remote pharmacist job into a step-by-step system. The course is only available through my newsletter, so join hundreds of other pharmacists who are already putting family first, already on the wait list. So check out the link in the show notes. So let's talk about some common pushback and do a little quick reality check. And let's talk about what you might be hearing. You might be hearing, or you might be thinking, saying to yourself, I'm giving up a stable career. So let's just look at what's happened recently. Not to name any names, but there's been a lot of large pharmacies that have closed recently, um, hundreds of stores. And other pharmacists finding that they're just being laid off. And these aren't small mom and pop pharmacies. These are what would we consider the definition of stable employment. So honestly, the truth is the pharmacy landscape is changing. And what felt stable yesterday might not be there tomorrow. So maybe the real stability doesn't come from clinging to your traditional roles, but maybe it comes from adapting, growing, and learning new skills that help you pivot so when you need to, you can. And remote pharmacist work isn't just about working from home, although that's a great perk. It's about future proofing your career. Think about learning new skills, understanding different aspects of healthcare, and yes, having more control over your work life. So when someone tells you you're giving up stability, ask yourself what's more stable, depending on a single employer and hoping things don't change, or building a set of skills that lets you adapt as the industry evolves. The second thing you might be hearing is remote work isn't real pharmacy work. And I hear this one a lot, and honestly, it makes me laugh. Because let me ask you something. What makes pharmacist work real? Is it standing in a specific building wearing your white coat? Or is it about improving patient outcomes and saving lives? So let me tell you about some real pharmacist work that's happening remotely right now. How about a pharmacist I know who catches very significant drug interactions and intervenes with their doctors to help prevent hospitalizations, making these vital interventions all while working from home? Or how about another pharmacist who develops clinical programs that impact thousands of patients' lives, far more than she ever reached in her real retail role? But here's the reality. Being a real pharmacist isn't about where you work, it's about how you use your clinical knowledge to help patients. Some days that might mean face to face interaction, and other days it might mean analyzing data to improve medication safety for an entire population. So, our profession is evolving. Pharmacists are finding new ways to make an impact. So, different locations, same mission, helping patients live healthier lives. So, next time someone says remote work isn't real pharmacy, remember your PharmD knowledge doesn't stop being valuable just because you're not standing behind a counter. And the third one is you'll miss being in person. And this is such a common worry, and I get it. I had the same concern at first. But let me share what real remote pharmacists are actually experiencing. So, back to my friend Liz. she actually found something pretty special. She found a whole network of pharmacist parents who get it. So they're all balancing careers and caregiving. They're all in it together, swapping stories about late night study sessions with kids and sharing tips about managing, their virtual teams. So it's become this amazing support system she never had in her traditional role. And here's another perspective from a pharmacist who made this switch. She told me, I was so worried about getting lonely without seeing coworkers in person. But honestly, that hasn't been my experience at all. We've created these really meaningful connections remotely, jumping on quick video calls just to catch up, sharing wins in our team chat. So the truth is, remote work doesn't mean isolated work. Technology has made it possible to build real, authentic relationships with your team members, sometimes even deeper than those rushed conversations you might have had between, hospital rounds or filling prescriptions. So you're not giving up connection, you're just connecting differently. And bonus, sometimes you get to choose when and how you connect rather than just trying to squeeze in conversations between patients or during your lunch break. So here are a few reflection questions and tips. So think about this. What moments have you lost to your pharmacy schedule? What would getting your family life back look like for you? And what's the first thing you do with that reclaimed time? So let's think about shifting your mindset from this is just how pharmacy life is. This is what being a pharmacist is. I thought when I wanted to change, I was going to have to go back for a whole nother degree, which I did not actually want to do. But shift it to I can choose a different path. From I'm stuck to I'm in control. And yes, this may take some work on your part, which may feel hard, but staying stuck is harder. And think about I'm going to go from missing moments to actually making memories, because this is what life is all about. You only have one life to live, so let's make it a good one. And lastly, that feeling of just surviving and getting through the day to actually thriving in your home and professional life. So think back to why you became a pharmacist. I bet it wasn't to miss out on your family's life. So here's what I have to say. You can be an amazing pharmacist and be present for the moments that matter. I got my family life back through remote pharmacist work. The pharmacist parents in my network got their lives back, and you can too. So if you're ready to transform your pharmacy career, I would love to connect with you. Find me on LinkedIn, Stephanie Smith PharmD, and send me a direct message. I want you to remember you don't have to choose between being a great pharmacist and being present for your family. You can have both. And so it's these simple mindset shifts that actually open you up to opportunities. And you know what's also amazing about remote work? It's those little moments of self-care that used to feel impossible are now just part of my everyday. Like my morning routine, it's become this peaceful ritual that starts just my day right. And I actually discovered this incredible skincare line, Emma Jean & Co. It's created by Dr. Allison Brennan, and she's one of us. And so she gets this. She's a fellow pharmacist who understands exactly what our profession does to our skin and our overall well-being. Her products are handcrafted in the US, and they have become such an important part of my wellness journey since going remote. I looked forward to these moments instead of rushing through my morning routine and then just jumping into that harsh pharmacy lighting. I now have these quiet moments to take care of myself. And it's these small changes that remind me just how different life can be when you have control over your time. And because I believe in supporting our pharmacy family and sharing all the good stuff that I know, I got us a special discount code. So use code STEPH10 for 10% off if you want to make it part of your self-care routine too. But that's just one example of how remote work gives us the time back to focus on our well-being. This is Stephanie with your remote remedy, and I'll catch you next time.